Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. Very late today, and it's going to be short readings today. All kinds of things going on in our little village. Some good things, some really not good things at all. Health crises and things like that. And I'm also waiting this evening for the little dog's mother to come home and retrieve her property. So, I have the Guardian of the Night Tarot on the tarot table for this reading. It is about this Deliveroo story. It's a bit of a silly story on the surface, but scratch beneath the surface and you get some rank hypocrisy on the part of Prince Harry and also his security detail. And the story comes from the Sun newspaper, and it is about Harry a year ago when he was back in the UK for his 10th anniversary. They had a sort of Thanksgiving ceremony at St. Paul's for the Invictus Games, and Harry afterwards went to stay with his big buddy Lord Charles Vivian in his London townhouse. Of course, couldn't possibly stay at any of the royal residences because, just can't, but can stay at Lord Vivian's London townhouse and can also deliver, order in takeaways. And this has now been revealed to the Sun newspaper in the wake of Harry's failed appeal, his security appeal. And apparently this is just absolutely not done. And Ken Worf, who was Princess Diana's royal protection officer way back in the mists of time, told the Sun, and I'm quoting, "It's unbelievable that such a high-profile person who considers themselves such a high security risk would allow a Deliveroo driver to arrive at his house. You have no idea who they are, what they might be carrying in their bag. It's basically a huge security fail." And apparently high-profile people, if they want takeaways, they send their staff to go and get them, basically. So, as I say, it's a bit of a silly story on a bit of a crazy evening here where I am, but as also this hypocrisy level. And I want to know who leaked the story. I want to know what was going on, because my first thought, and I have to say it's my first very negative thought when I heard the story, was I wonder if he had the munchies, Prince Harry. And so we're going to look at this, and because the security thing rumbles on and on, there are some very serious stories to read around all of this, which I will get to in the next few days. And also the living Nostradamus has been at it again. As I say, there are some serious stories to look at from other sources like that as well. We'll get there today. No, we're not going to go there today. But I want to know about the security fail. I mean, Harry is supposed to be so absolutely paranoid about his security and so anxious and so worried and so convinced that London is so dangerous. I want to know what the atmosphere was like at that townhouse in the evening in question. And I sound a bit like Miss Marple or Inspector Poirot. But we're going to ask if possibly I was right about having a rather enhanced appetite, shall we say. I want to know who leaked the story to the Sun, because I think that's quite telling in itself. And I want to know how Harry feels about his hypocrisy being exposed in such an obvious way at this point. The press really are gunning for him, and particularly the Sun at the moment and the Daily Mail, but they really are gunning for him at the moment. And I don't know how it's all going to end, but I can't think it's going to end well for Prince Harry if he's provoked the press the way he has, and people are telling stories. I'm sure there's plenty more stories where this one came from. That's just my opinion. It is just tarot, and it is for fun and entertainment, and it is all my opinion and all speculation, and I just read energy here. And of course there is a disclaimer in the box below. Guardian of the Night Tarot. Guardians failing in their duty. We have the Nine of Swords, and that's a worry and anxiety card. He is supposed to, of course, be so stressed and anxious and can't sleep peacefully when he's in London, but apparently he can. Order 10 pizzas from wherever. I mean, it's sarcastic, of course. But there we have worry. That's I'm going to say alleged worry, and might now actually be some worry, some actual worry, because the story has emerged. And as I say, what other stories might emerge if this one has emerged? So situation we're dealing with today, we're dealing with the Ten of Cups. That's the hanging out, being happy, feeling very comfortable, very secure, being in an environment where he felt very safe, he felt loved. He felt, this is an old friend, I think literally an older person, Lord Charles Vivian, not a peer in terms of age, but somebody Harry knows very well, has known for a very long time. And that would be the Ten of Cups energy. Obviously, he felt very safe there, very surrounded with love and good feelings. And as I say, he was in a celebratory mood, but we're going to check that because they'd had this celebration at St. Paul's, and Harry was, he had a moment with Lord Charles Spencer, and the rest of the Spencers were all there, and it was bigging him up. And you look at me, aren't I wonderful? And haven't I done marvelously well? And perhaps feeling a bit too safe, Ten of Cups, and a bit too protected, and not really thinking things through that well. But it shouldn't be up to him to think things through. It should be up to his very expensive private security, should it not? So let's ask about them and what they were thinking on this occasion. And we've got the Five of Pentacles, and it's in reverse. This is kind of relaxing your guard, I feel. Upright, the Five of Pentacles, there's the old wise owl, you're very conscious of your vulnerability when you're in Five of Pentacles energy, because you're outside that protective energy that the Ten of Cups represents. You're banished, you're shunned, you're cast out, you're vulnerable, you're weak, you're out in the cold, in the blizzard, you're being buffeted by the elements, you have no protection around you. But the card is in the reverse. That tells me that they relaxed. They thought, and maybe this Lord Charles Vivian has got super duper security in his home. But as Ken Wolf said, you don't know what's in that bag. You don't know who that person is. There was a bad moment, I recall, a few years ago. Was it school? And there was someone delivering bread or something from somewhere. There was something a bit dodgy. I have an idea it had to do with the Wales' children. An old story from a couple of years ago. Vaguely in my mind. They thought they were back in a safe place. That's my opinion, and I have to, of course, advise you that this is all my opinion and it's all my speculation, and I know nothing at all about security detail and all of this stuff. I'm simply quoting from the Sun newspaper article. So what was the atmosphere that evening? Just asking, inquiring minds and all of that. We've got the Two of Swords, and the Two of Swords isn't party central, which I was suspecting. Not party central at all. Two of Swords is a debate. And it's a kind of an internal debate when you're in Two of Swords energy. You're deciding something. Should I, shouldn't I? And so I think that there was quite an intense discussion going on about Harry and his life and the way forward. And I've seen this energy in the past, and I've speculated that it's been the Duke of Westminster that's been the person that has possibly been counselling Harry, a bit of a go-between energy between Harry and the royals, like the voice of reason, trusted by both parties, and trying to counsel Harry. Perhaps this Lord Charles Vivian is the chap that I've been picking up energetically in previous readings, and it looks like a very intense discussions going on about Harry and his life and what should he do. And there was a lot of dithering at this point, and it got more intense in the next few months, and Harry's situation changed quite radically from where it was in the first 6 months of 2024 to where it was in the second half of 2024. And it's almost like this was marking the divide in the year of, should I stick with what's going on in Montecito, or should I try my luck and come back in from the cold? Five of Pentacles. And we had that whole story that started to build around about then of the reconciliation and Harry trying to weasel his way back in to the royal fold, which of course failed But I think this was what was being discussed. That is my personal opinion. I'm speculating. I cannot say that that is factual at all. I'm just reading energy. Who leaked this story? Where did this come from? I've got the Eight of Pentacles, and this is someone who works or worked for. Could have made themselves a nice little a bit of pocket money out of this story as well, because it's a big money card, the Ace of Pentacles, and it's always working at something, so that you like the busy bee there, of course, and busy working away, and it's working because this is what you do, and there's reward in what you do. You're not doing it for free. So I'm getting that it was someone, I'm not getting it someone that we know, an identifiable energy for me. Like this is an identifiable energy for me. It's familiar energy for me, if that makes any sense to you. That's how this gig kind of works, reading tarot. This is not familiar energy, but it's telling me staff. Whether Harry's staff or Lord Vivian's staff, I don't know. But staff, someone somewhere, one of those ones, I'm sure, that signed a massive NDA somewhere along the line. Maybe that NDA is expired or something like that. And oh well, I can. It now seems an opportune moment to tell the story to the Sun. Probably had it in their back pocket for a while, and oh, okay, it's giving me that energy. Again, I can't state this as fact. I can only say that this is the energy that's coming through the cards. How does Harry feel with this story coming out now? Because it does make him look like a bit of an idiot, really, and his security detail makes them all look like idiots, and it makes him look like a rank hypocrite. How does he feel? Does he care? Does it yeah, King of Swords. I would say he's very angry about this, and I would say if there is a trail to our little Eight of Pentacles person over there, Harry is on it. Bit of a witch hunt vibe in that King of Swords in reverse. Very angry. Angry at being exposed like this, because of course the King of Swords is security. It's very much policemen, detectives, military, top, secret service, those kinds of people, and they're in reverse. They've been caught out. They've been shown up. And Harry does whinge and carry on about how he's paying top dollar for these top people because he's being denied his rights in the UK and all around the world. Doesn't like the fact that this has been shown up, doesn't like the fact that it makes him look stupid and inauthentic and irresponsible and unwise, and dishonest is even in there as well, because swords in reverse do all carry an energy of dishonesty in them, some stronger than others, but really it's being unwise. The old wise owl is there again. There is the wise owl, and I would say it's his top guy, that's his only friend, possibly. I'm speculating, I'm not accusing the person, but it's interesting that this owl figure is repeating, the owl energy. This would be a very trusted person, a very wise person, a very senior person, and they've slipped up, or they've been made to look as if they've slipped up, and Harry is very, I would say, angry about it, and I would also say on the warpath to find out who leaked the story and do whatever he wants to do to silence them or whatever. Not a happy energy. So there it is. And that's the stress and the worry and who and what and how, and this is making me look bad and like a fool and can't stand it. There it is, sitting in that Nine of Swords as well. That for me is the interesting card, this Two of Swords. I would love to have been a fly on the wall for that conversation, just to know what was being discussed. I even want to say debated that in that London townhouse way back a year ago in May. That's a reading. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.